안녕하세요. 저는 좋습니다. 감사합니다. ITZY 듣고 있어요. I got to check out another song from ITZY. You know, ITZY they just had this pretty successful world tour. I think it's still actually I think they were in Singapore last. Um, but they've been touring around the world. They came to the States. It was not too long ago. Um, and I really wanted to go and see that concert. Where MIDZY, like, where you guys at, man? You know what I mean? Like, I think, I think they're gonna have a good year. ITZY, and I actually do really like this group a lot. I enjoy their songs. I've liked the songs. Everything that I've reacted to, they're on my playlist too. Um, and they're one of these like they're one of these groups that just well, first of all, they work very hard, and they're very talented, and they're very wholesome also. They're, a JYP girl group. um I think that they didn't have an easy time because they came out sort of after Twice, and they are, in my perception, they're very much like the little sisters of Twice, kind of, you know what I mean? But they're really very, very sweet people. Like, they're really, really just I don't know. It probably, is a little bit to do with how young they are also. um but they just have this thing about them, you know what I mean? They just have, you can't help but really just sort of adore them, because they're just adorable. They're not, they're funny, and they're just they're just a bit on the young side, that's all. um but they're good, man, and I actually do watch a lot of their it's like they're one of my favorite groups to just watch. Those like itsy moments, you know what I mean? Just like the sort of random stuff that you can find out there. um but I want them to be successful in all of this, and they're, coming up on their, I believe they're coming up on their 7-year mark already too, or unless they've already hit it. um but I can't remember. I still don't remember hearing anything yet about the contracts and all that. So, but I think they're a great group, man. Like I said, I've really enjoyed their stuff that I have experienced. And so I was thinking, man, I need to do another ITZY song, because they had a couple of releases this year. They had the blah 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 song, but that was a Japan exclusive. So I think there's like a higher chance that there'll be maybe some copyright issues with that. I'm not sure. But this song here, Boys Like You, this was not a Japan exclusive. This was just under the JYP company label, so I think we'll be okay with this one. So I'm gonna check out Boys Like You.
Why you calling me up? Saying sorry again. Already told you it's done. What didn't you get? Don't forget you're the one that tried to get with my friends. The end, the end, the end, the end. Well, you must be going crazy, thinking I'll be back. I'm sorry, cause you're crying like a baby, but do I look like your mommy? Take a look into the mirror if you wonder why you lost me. Gotta sit down and shut up. You did it to yourself. Boy, gonna diss me, boy, I'm so pissed. Boy, gonna miss me, boy, you are dismissed. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boy, wanna date me, boy, out of date, yeah. Boy, wanna what? No, boy, out of my way. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I see through sweet little lies and every excuse. When you start every fight, the blame is on you. One red flag and I'm gone. Already on to the next, the next, the next. But you must be going crazy, thinking I'll be back. I'm sorry, cause you're crying like a baby, but do I look like your mommy? Take a look into the mirror if you wonder why you lost me. Gotta sit down and shut up. You did it to yourself. Boy, gonna diss me, boy, I'm so pissed. Boy, gonna miss me, boy, you are dismissed. Cause I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boy, wanna date me, boy, out of date, yeah. Boy, wanna what? No, boy, out of my way. Cause I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for. You can read your voice, but know that you have no choice. And don't care what you do. You can read your voice, but know that you have no choice. Don't care what you do. Turn around, walk away. You made your bed, so you gotta lay. Get out of my way. Boy, gonna diss me, boy, I'm so pissed. Boy, gonna miss me, boy, you are dismissed. Cause I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boy, wanna date me, boy, out of date, yeah. Boy, wanna what? No, boy, out of my way. Cause I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for. You can read your voice, but know that you have no choice. And don't care what you do. You can read your voice, but know that you have no choice. Don't care what you do.
Boy, you better not ever hurt ITZY, man. You kidding me? I will beat you up, man. No, it was a fun video. A very light, like pop punk sort of a jam there. A little bit of a light punk pop type of a thing. Had like the percussion. It had sort of like an 80s feel to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, even like the compression that was around the drum parts. And you know, they're real, like Lia and Chaeryoung, they have great voices, man. They have some outstanding vocals. Interesting English track too. Yeah, they did really well on this. I wasn't I didn't know that the whole song was English lyrics and stuff. But yeah, they're good, man. They're good. They just, they have a certain, I guess MIDZY, right? Like MIDZY's probably a certain age demographic, predominantly. I mean, because I'm a once, but I could be a MIDZY too. You know what I mean? Like, well, definitely whenever they're doing their thing, I could definitely get in with MIDZY for sure. But it's good, man. It's good, and I get the concept. Also, again, it's one of these things where it's the youthfulness. It's it's the youngness, right? Because even this is a very young party. You know what I mean? I mean, it almost looks kind of high schoolish, but I still went to house parties when I was in my when I was like 20. When I was 20. Not so much 21, but when you're 21, I think it's because you can go to the bars after that. But when you're 20, you still go to house parties for sure. Yeah. So it's let's see, it's definitely in 4, and so they start with the chorus, right? But it's very much like part of the set. See, that's when they already know what's up, right? But no boy's going to come in between ITZY. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, so see, there's that compression around the drums, right? They sound even like it could be the pads, right? Like it might be electronic drums actually. Just especially that snare hit. That snare hit is kind of what indicates it the most. But it definitely, because it's very specific, the production on those drums. But it's in 4 with some synth elements that are in there to fill out your rhythm section, right? It's fairly minimalist too. Like there's not too many parts in the mix. You got the percussion, synth, rhythm, and then also the vocals that are going on. So it keeps it pretty light and pretty simple, right?
Why you calling me up, saying sorry again? Already told you it's done. What didn't you get? Don't forget you're the one that tried to get with my friends. The end, the end, the end, the end. Well, you must be going crazy, thinking I'll be back. I'm sorry, cause you're crying like a baby, but do I look like your mommy? Take a look into the mirror if you wonder why you lost me. Gotta sit down and shut up. You did it to yourself.
So we have basically we're in 4. The drums will sometimes give you some like double stops. So it never really goes into 16-note subdivision, but that double stop feel is there. Boot do doom ta doom ta doom, right? If you're gonna hear, I think the synth is mostly like when the 8th note subdivision comes around. That's where you hear that. Yeji actually is doing a really good job singing the English lyrics. Like she's she's come a long way, she was the one who said, English is about confidence, right? But she does it really well. She did really well on this song. Um, and they sound good, man. They sound good. Lia being your main vocalist, she has a nice voice, man. She's got a relatively higher end range. It's not super high, right? But she can definitely get up there and work the falsetto. Chaeryoung, she comes in with a pretty strong high end. She's got some great high notes. Um, and then Ryujin is she's cool, man. I love Ryujin, man. She she's just cool, man. She's cool. When she raps, it's great, and when she sings, it's also great. She's very very cool, man. Everybody loves Ryujin for sure.
Boy, gonna diss me, boy, I'm so pissed. Boy, gonna miss me, boy, you are dismissed. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boy, wanna date me, boy, out of date, yeah. Boy, wanna yo, boy, out of my way. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you.
So they're in the chorus section. I'm really hearing only a couple of chords. I'm just like I'm not hearing too much, and so their vocal lines tend to stay right around the same pitch, but you do have that nice little ascending part, right, in the boys like you, where it's just kind of walking up, basically the chord there, and so. But it's a nice sound, you know what I mean? I'm saying that it's a nice falsetto. That's she's got the control, you know what I mean? They don't have any trouble doing it. It's clean, and it's even the whole time, and it's good. It's simple, man. There's nothing too complex about it, but that's good. That's it keeps everything together and streamlined, and it's good.
I see through sweet little lies and every excuse. When you start every fight, the blame is on you. One red flag and I'm gone. Already on to the next, the next, the next. Where you must be going crazy, thinking I'll be back. I'm sorry, 'cause you're crying like a baby, but I look like your mommy. Take a look into that mirror if you wonder why you lost me. Gotta sit down and shut up. You did it to yourself. Boy, gonna diss me, boy, I'm so pissed. Boy, gonna miss me, boy, you are dismissed. 'Cause I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boy, wanna date me, boy, out of date, yeah. Boy, wanna no, boy, out of my way. 'Cause I don't fall for boys like you. I don't fall for boys like you.
It's very streamlined, right? Just like because a lot of the ITZY songs, especially the ones I've heard and reacted to here, they would have like some pretty strong contrast in between their sections. You know, like the verse section and the chorus section, or songs that have pre-chorus and chorus. Usually there's a pretty strong change somewhere in there. It could be the mix changes up by changes in like the synth that's being used, or maybe even in the percussion parts. But this song has a very round, consistent type of structure to it. There's not a dramatic contrast between the verse sections and the chorus sections, and I guess that's kind of the because the other song that I remember that is like that is Voltage. I remember when I heard that, it was one of the things that I noted about it was that it didn't have the strong contrast between its sections. It was very streamlined throughout the song, and this has a similar quality to it in its overall song structure, though it's a completely different type of feel from Voltage. It's a sort of a more laid back pop punk kind of a feel, compared to Voltage, which is a lot more electronic, a little bit sort of like harder or edgier, but it's a nice song, man. It's kind of sweet, it's borderline ballady, like if it wouldn't take much, right, for this song to have fallen under the ballad sort of category, but it's fun. It's fun, right? It's a good bridge. See? It's good, man. It's good. It's relatively concise phrasing on the lines. You know what I mean? It's not too long. There's not notes that have too long of sustain, but everything is very controlled. And Lia has a great voice. She actually is really good at her applications of vibrato, and Chaeryoung, she's has a strong voice, man. So she really does have a strong voice, and it's just that it's a concise phrase. So but she could definitely hold that note out if she wanted to. If she wanted to sustain, if the song was written that way, she wouldn't have a problem with doing that. She has a good voice, man. Lia and Chaeryoung both have really, really great voices. See, it's strong. It's very strong. See, she put a little bit of finesse on that last part there. Just that last line on the finish, you know what I mean? She put a little bit of that finesse on it, I think because she could do it, man. She could do it. They're very, very capable. They're a very good group, man. I got a lot of appreciation for ITZY. I really do. And I will, man, like I'm saying, don't even think about it, man. Don't even think about playing these games with ITZY, man. I will big brother you, man. If I hear about it. But no, they're a really good group, and I I hope that they what is this? Classic Queen on CD? I just noticed that. That's Queen. It's Queen, isn't it? The Clash. Look, see? Man, that's great, man. That's cool. I just noticed that, but that's cool. Yeah, they're ITZY's they're a really great group. They've done a lot of great work, man. They have so many CDs, also so many songs, and so this was fairly straightforward. It's fairly minimalist. You got some drums, you got some synth. It's in 4, very concise phrasing on the vocal lines, but they do get to stretch out their voices a little bit. Lia and Chaeryoung have those sort of highlight lines around the bridge section, and they did very good for the English lyric in this song. They have certainly come quite a long ways over the course of their career. You know what I mean? But it was good, man. It was good. I got a cause I love Twice. You know what I'm saying? They're just they were the group that got me started on K-pop. They were the first ones I heard, and then ITZY is, like I said, in my perspective, ITZY is like the little sisters to Twice or whatever. So they're also kind of special in a way, like they are that. I root for them. I root for them. I want them to do good, and I want them to be successful, because they're really awesome. They're really, really awesome, man. They're a great, talented group, and they work really hard, and they've all there's no scandalous stuff or whatever. Like, there's not even any rumors, or like ITZY's so wholesome, and you know what I mean. They're just it's like that's what I mean. That's why they're like these little sister, sort of group to me or whatever. It's just they have this innocence about them, but just. Which is saying, because it's K-pop, right? You hear around some groups, you know what I mean? Depending on who it is, right? Sometimes you hear this and that. And I try not to get wrapped up, because most of it's pretty silly. Like, it's just, you have to be a silly Billy to really take any of that stuff seriously. It's a very wholesome industry overall, but they're like super wholesome, and they've always been that. And from the beginning, right, they just they had to do this different thing. They had to say, oh well, we're different, we're gonna do our own thing, and they stuck with it, so that's why I give them a lot of credit, man. I think, they deserve a lot more credit than they get at times. And I don't know how. I know why people get hate on the internet and stuff like this. It happens, man. It's, like I said, I think it's for silly billies, but I hear certain things, and I'm like, how in the world could anybody ever hate on ITZY? How? Like, for what? For why? Like, for what reason? You know what I mean? Like, they're not. There doesn't seem to be any legitimate reason, which is why it's all just silly to me. But I really love ITZY. And so, MIDZY, if you're out there, support your group, man. It just, because they're a great group, man. They're a great group. Like I said, I'm MIDZY too. I'm MIDZY at times. I'm MIDZY. Because I really enjoy this group, man. I really enjoy ITZY. I think they're great. And so, let's, make sure that we give ITZY some love and some support, right? They deserve it. They work hard for it. And so, I wanted to make sure because it's been a while since I reacted to any sort of ITZY or whatever, and so I said, man, I need to I just need to check them out again, man, because they're also one of my favorite groups. And so yeah, I think I will do in the future, right, in the near future. I'm probably going to do videos like, let's say like maybe my top 5 groups, girl groups, top 5 boy groups, things like that, But ITZY will be on my list. Like they're going to be. I don't know if it's going to be top 5 or top 10 or however, but they'll be on the list for sure. And so to check out another ITZY song, "Boys Like You," a light pop punk type of a song. Very streamlined for ITZY. Sort of went with a sound and just treated it with a lot of continuity throughout. It's a fairly minimalist mix. Actually had really good percussion too. I dig that drum sound in this one for sure. And hey, they kept it simple, right? They kept it simple. We got some very good vocals actually. A little more concise, like I said, a little more laid back. Almost bordering the ballady territory, right? But it was good, man. It was good. I always enjoy ITZY whenever I listen to them because they're a great group. ITZY, Boys Like You.